Today, I'm pleased to be joined by Debbie Dry, who is Head of Integration at Wealth Holdings. And my name is Sue Whitbread, and I'm editor here at IFA Magazine. And today I'll be talking to Debbie about Wealth Holdings, and in particular how they support advisor businesses as they progress with the next stages of their development through what may be an exit plan, it may be acquisition or succession planning. So Debbie, hello. Welcome to IFA Magazine.
Thank you, Sue. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Could you give us perhaps to start with a little bit of an introduction to you and a bit about your background?
Yes, certainly. So I'm Debbie Dry. I work for Wealth Holdings as the Head of Integration. This is actually my 26th year in financial services. I've done a bit of everything, but pretty much the majority of my career has been spent in the mergers and acquisitions space. So I spent 20 years working for two national consolidators. So really understanding the market and the types of deals that are out there. And so the opportunity to work with some good people at Wealth Holdings was to really take that experience and give the benefit of that to people that are trying to do it themselves.
Well, we've certainly got the right person then, haven't we, to talk about M&A. So could we start then by perhaps asking you to outline what it is that you do to help IFA businesses with their development plans?
Yeah, I mean, quite simply, what we're looking to do is to work with both buyers and sellers, and it's all sorts of people within the marketplace. We work with some of the larger, more seasoned consolidators, if you like, who may know what they're doing. We also might be working with a smaller firm who's perhaps looking to buy a number of clients, to maximise the capacity within their own firm. So that's on the buying side, and on the selling side, again, it's all sorts. They might be smaller businesses that are looking perhaps for an exit, maybe to retire, maybe they've been run as lifestyle businesses, right the way through to some of the larger concerns that have national presences that are looking to capitalize.
Great, sounds good. So how do you do it then?
Okay, I think the biggest thing really is education first. I think there's a natural assumption within our space that because they're IFAs, because they are concerned with dealing with the financial affairs of others, that they aren't necessarily experts in this space. And that's not really the case. So I think the first thing to do is to really challenge some of their own expectations of what they think they might be achieving. So we spend a lot of time. We don't just take on all comers. It's there's a sort of fact-finding process, if you like, to use the IFA terminology, where we really want to get to know both the buyers and the sellers to understand what they're trying to achieve, to challenge their expectations along the way, to challenge how they might think that these deals might be structured, because there are numerous ways to structure deals. There are numerous ways to structure payment mechanisms to pay for these deals, and there are numerous ways to construct client transition plans to make sure that the clients become fully embedded in the acquiring vehicle. So we really spend an awful lot of time at the beginning getting to know these firms and really challenging those expectations. What that then allows us to do is what we at Wealth Holdings call our matchmaking work, is to really tie up somebody on the buy side and on the sell side who have similar expectations. And I think that's absolutely key here to make sure that the deal's going to actually work.
So how does what you do then differ from others in the market? I guess I'm thinking, what's the Wealth Holdings USP really?
I think we spend a lot of time focusing on securing the right outcomes for the client. And that may sound twee, but actually, if we do that, everybody's going to win. The financial objectives of both the buyer and seller are, of course, important. But if we follow that through and make sure that the client is supported in this journey the entire way through, then everybody's going to win in this process. The clients are going to remain with the acquiring firm. We're going to make sure that we do a full transition plan. The seller's going to be happy because they get what they were expecting in terms of the commercials and the financial payments for their business. And the buyer's going to be happy because they've taken on the clients that they've expected to buy.
And is there much hand holding as they go through that process?
There's a lot of hand holding. So Wealth Holdings gets involved in all aspects of this process. So right from the very beginning, when we're talking about structuring the deal, what might impact on the valuations, what's good for one buyer might be less valuable to another buyer, supporting that process from heads of terms, full due diligence, client integration plan, and operational integration plan. And typically we would be supporting a transaction anything up to 18 months post-acquisition. So it's a long haul plan. It's not a short-term transaction. I think that's where we differ.
And I guess my last question really is whether you could summarize the value add. So for those businesses that you do work with, or that you have worked with, what is it that makes a difference to them?
I think it's the quality of the introductions, really. We're not just doing a targeted approach necessarily based on geography. It's a real in-depth understanding of the business. And by the time we come to introduce a business, we will understand that is going to be a likely fit. There's so much fact-finding and due diligence done up front that's really where we add value. We're not wasting anybody's time.
That sounds good. Well, thank you very much for giving us very clear, very concise overview of those opportunities today, Debbie, that advisor firms can take advantage of through Wealth Holdings. And hopefully we will speak to you again.
Thanks, Sue. Thanks for having me. Take care.